بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Ikhwan, on Monday, I had parents' evening in my local madrasa. And one of the main concerns of the parents was our children are on social media, they're using the iPads, the iPods and the iPhones. And they don't come downstairs. And this is the main concern of parents, that our children are immersed in their consoles, in their phones, in the iPads. A survey was done in 2001 and people were asked, how many close friends do you have? In 2001, the general answer was, we have 10 close friends. The same survey was done last year and the general answer was, we have 2 close friends. So my friends, where have all the friends gone to? And the experts believe it's the effects of social media. Every single day, each individual spends approximately 2 hours and 15 minutes on social media. Going back 10-15 years, we could say that children would spend that amount of time on TV. But with the advancement of technology, my friends, our children have diverted their attention to social media. And unfortunately, many parents are unaware of the harms and the effects social media is having on their children. And they only realize when it's too late. According to research, there has been a 70% increase in the past 27 years in teenage anxiety and teenage depression, directly linked to the use of social media. Since 1999, there has been a 112% increase in eating disorders amongst teenagers. Research shows that teenagers who use social media like Instagram, majority of them are not happy with the way they look, which then leads to anxiety, depression and eating disorders. Yesterday I was reading the Daily Telegraph. According to an official inquiry, 1 in 4 teenage suicides. 1 in 4 teenage suicides. And according to research, there are 800,000 suicides each year around the world. That makes it every 40 seconds, my friends, somebody commits suicide. So 1 in 4 teenage suicides, my friends, is connected to the internet. And there's so many ill effects of our children using social media. I'm not saying it's haram, nor by saying it's evil in itself. Yesterday I talked to the children in madrasa and we had a workshop on social media. And the children were around the age of 9 and 10. Allahu Akbar. 45% of children aged 10 to 11 have access and depend on social media. And 69% of children aged 12 to 13 have access and depend on social media. Every kid in class I spoke to, aged 9 to 10, all of them either have access to a phone or they have access to an iPad. And they all have access to social media. I was teaching 8 years ago in one madrasa. A 6-year-old child, his father had brought him the new Samsung phone. Now, what does a child need a phone for? Most parents struggle. Their children turns 11, 12, their classmates have a phone. Another child is asking for a phone. One parent came in parents' evening, may Allah bless him. His child is 13 now. And all of his classmates had a phone, but this child did not have a phone. Just now the father has given in and bought him a phone. But the father, he restricts his use of the phone. And this is very important. 30% of 11 to 16-year-olds, my friends, have seen explicit images on social media. So if we want to look at the degradation of our society, my friends, we can look no further than social media. And many parents are unaware of what their children are doing on social media. I spoke to the class of 9-year-olds. And half the class told me, Moulana, our parents do not even check what sites we go on at home. And the other half said, no, Moulana, our parents check our phones and check our iPads. When we complain about grooming and we complain about whether it's the far right being radicalized or some ill-informed Muslims. And the general way of people being radicalized, my friends, is the internet. If we don't keep a tab on our children, then we will lose our children. One parent came and complained. He said, my son over the weekend, for 3 days straight, he didn't leave his room. 15-year-old child. He spent all his time watching movies on TV and playing his PS4. And this is having negative effects on our children. They're sleeping later. Why our children are having 8 hours of sleep and yet they feel tired? They walk into school yawning, they come to madrasa, have a sleep. So from every perspective, my friends, social media, phones is having a negative effect on our children. I'm not saying take it away totally. Give them a limited usage of their phones. And make sure they are aware that as parents, we are looking and we are observing what they are watching. And set rules where children are not allowed to use the PS4 during the weekdays, school is and most days. And limited time on the weekend. Because our children become over-dependent on their PS4. Rather, a study shows that social media is more addictive than alcohol and drugs. Social media is more addictive than alcohol and drugs. And my friends, I dare to say that parents have fallen into the same illness. The child wants to talk to the mother and father, and the mother and father on the phone. One of my students in madrasa, he came and he was really in tears. I said, Masab, whenever I try to talk to my mom, she's always on her phone. She doesn't listen to me. And this is a story in every street, my friends. The parents are too busy with social media, WhatsApp and Facebook. They don't have time for the children. So we need to take a step back. Where are the days gone when fathers would take their children to the park? And, send our children to scouts. Muslims are so far behind. We should encourage our children to go in scouts, to learn life skills. Because our children really have no social skills. And this is the effects of social media. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.